As you know, today is Mission Sunday, and we're going to share with you the different ministries that Cornerstone supports. I will be reading Act 1, verse 8, and you will not need to stand. Act 1, verse 8 describes the different ministries. But you will receive power when the Holy Spirit has come upon you, and you will be my witness in Jerusalem and in Judea and Samaria and to the end of the earth. When you interpret the Bible verse, Jerusalem represents local missions to those right around us. Judea is the liken to the regional missions in our state and our nation. And for Samaria notes the missions for those who are different than us, and to the end of the earth describes international missions. For me, participating in the different ministries here at Cornerstone is very heartwarming and rewarding, knowing that you are providing support and help to those in need. I hope you enjoy hearing about the different ministries and learning how you can get involved. So let me go ahead and let them get started describing all the different ministries.
Oh, so I'm nervous. So missions help us get outside our own little worlds. You know, we're all stuck in our own little worlds. Helps us see the needs of others. Helps us really see people. And God can use our efforts to heal our own wounds. Oh my. And while we're helping others. And God has been in the business of healing my heart. So here we go. I'm Rhonda O'Rourke. Good morning. I'm a volunteer here on the missions committee in a few areas. I'm going to start with Trinity Table. Trinity Table is feeding the homeless in Atlanta. And then there's O'Rourke Ministries, which includes the Eastgate community here in Noonan. And also I went to El Salvador for the first time in February on the mission there. And oh, wow, what a blessed experience. You all need to go. So, Trinity Table. You know, we, the privileged people of this world, we have so many choices. We can decide what we're going to cook for dinner and then change our minds and go through the Chick-fil-A drive-thru. We can look in our closets and see what we want to wear, and the list goes on and on. When we go to Atlanta, to Trinity Table, it's always a great day. It's Trinity United Methodist Church, located at the Capitol Building, or near the Capitol Building in Atlanta. For many, many years, our church has provided lunches there a few times each year to feed the homeless. We can now serve hot meals again, and we could not do that during COVID, and we provide bagged lunches, of course. The homeless men and women come for the food, and we always give out blankets, underwear, socks, sometimes shoes. And you all have been so generous in helping provide all that, and thank you for that. We like to provide a little choice as we can to the homeless. So, like one man, he asked, could I have white socks? They're healthier for the feet. So we gave him white socks. Another man wanted black shoes in his size, and we had them. So this last time, we were able to do the hot meal. So with their baked ziti and salad, they got to choose their salad dressing. And there were a variety of cookies for dessert, so they got to make that choice as well. Here's the bag lunches. They're guidelines by Trinity Table. It's Vienna sausages, canned ravioli with pop-top lids. You know they eat it cold, probably. Granola bars, fruit cups, crackers, bottled water. That doesn't even sound good to me at all. I'm one of God's spoiled, rotten children, and I like my cooked food hot. I like my coffee hot. I like my water, well, pretty cold. And I'm probably going to complain if my coffee isn't nice and strong. I really like it walking. So we, the privileged people, of this world have a lot of work to do. And it's never enough, but we have to try. So Jesus told us in Matthew 25:35 through 40, "For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. I needed clothes, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you looked after me. I was in prison, and you visited me." Then the righteous will answer him, "Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you? Or thirsty and give you something to drink? When did we see you a stranger and invite you in? Or need clothes and clothe you? When did we see you sick or in prison and go visit you?" The Lord will reply, "Truly I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me." Okay, now I'm moving on to O'Rourke Ministries. O'Rourke Ministries is an outreach ministry of this church. It was established February 15th, 2015, and as many of you know, our son Sean O'Rourke, who was a young doctor in his first year of residency, passed away in August of 14. At that time, I was helping with the youth group here at the church, and our associate pastor and youth minister, Reverend Dr. Shannon Carafonda, was leading the group. And after Sean's death, I didn't do anything to help out with anybody for a very long time, but Pastor Shannon was leading our youth group in many different local missions that fall. And one of the youth members, Brandon Stiper, who was in 10th grade at the time, asked Pastor Shannon, "Why can't we do these local missions all the time?" And Pastor Shannon, along with Nicole Dennison and maybe some other adults, listened to this young man. They also knew that Sean, our son, had participated in missions and been to Honduras while he was in medical school. So Brandon and these people, Pastor Shannon, Nicole, and whoever else, came up with a business plan. And Brandon, 10th grade, presented me this business plan and asked if we could use Sean's memorial fund and begin O'Rourke Ministries. And off we went. A few years later, just so you know, Larry Gray passed away, and his whole memorial fund also went into O'Rourke Ministries. Back to Brandon. Now he's all grown up, most of you know. He works for Delta, bought a house. He's married to the lovely Haley Stiper, and he's still the O'Rourke Ministries director. This church has an ongoing ministry serving the youth at Eastgate Apartments. Really the whole families, but a concentration on the children and youth. Here in Noonan, it's a Section 8 housing area, and that goes back to 1999. It might have been actually 89, but I mean what I say, back to 1999. So O'Rourke Ministries began a focus in serving in that community, and here's a few things we've done. We've had cookouts at Eastgate with arts and crafts and bounce houses and slides. That was an all-afternoon thing. Oh, my goodness, in the hot sun. Breakfast at Eastgate with Chick-fil-A biscuits. That's a little easier. Along with the congregation, we provided back-to-school shoes each year after receiving specific information on the children, and we always get lace-up athletic shoes. Thank you. If you haven't seen, there's all these shoes. We had 45 children on the list, and there'll be a few more. You all have been so generous, and just take a look at all those shoes out there. We've done that every year. We've given bags of toiletries. At Christmas, we've done different things different years. We've provided toys, pajamas, sleeping bags, pillows, different things different years. One year, it was 200 pairs of pajamas. Well, let me tell you, that was some organizing and some work. You saw a picture of 200 pairs of pajamas on the video. Actually, that was just the toddler sizes, but anyway. And then one year, we found out some kids were sleeping on the floor, and we provided 86 sleeping bags. Those are just some of the things we've done at Eastgate. This summer, partnering with Bridging the Gap, Cornerstone packed and served lunches for 4 weeks at Eastgate for the children. This was headed up by Gail and Jim Churchill and Cindy Snobble, and they purchased all the food, along with others, and went out and served the lunches every week for 4 weeks. And O'Rourke Ministries just sponsored the cost of that. So, aside from Eastgate, we do a few other things. I-58 Mission is in Sonoya, and they do, so many things. So for a few years now, we've provided beds each year as they've needed them, and about 3 weeks ago, we were notified that they had a waiting list for beds. So we provided 8 beds a few weeks ago to I-58 Mission. And earlier this year, we provided comforters, sheets, and toaster ovens, and Haley delivered that for us. Maria at I-58 will contact us and ask if we can help, and we usually can, and we're grateful. Back during the pandemic, we mostly helped provide food and supplies for I-58 and One Roof, those on the front lines, because we couldn't do much else. We quietly gave some monetary relief to a few tornado victims after the terrible tornado here in Noonan. And recently, a 9-month sober young woman was helped with just a gift card to Kroger. So we do all kinds of things. And a few of us make the decisions. It's certainly not just me on what we can do. And so we've done lots of things over the years, and we're often asked, what is your vision for the ministry? The answer has always been, we just go where God leads us each year, and we seek to know what the needs in our community are. And I just wanted to say, join us. You already help us by providing things for us, but come go with us to Eastgate. Come go with us to Trinity Table. It's October 8th. We'll also be asking for pans of baked ziti, so, don't worry, we'll provide the recipe. Join us. All you have to do is talk to me, talk to Brandon, talk to Kathy, talk to Anna, talk to Gail, talk to any of us, and we'll tell you what we need. And we'll get you involved. So I want to leave you with this. I always pray that those we help will know we come in the name of Christ. And I pray they know it by how we show them love. Thank you.
My name is Katie Brown, and I head the Operation Christmas Child Ministry. Just to give a little history about Operation Christmas Child, it's a project of Samaritan's Purse. It started in 1990 to help kids in Romania's orphanages. Samaritan's Purse adopted the program in 1993, and since then they have given over 209 million shoeboxes to over 170 countries. The gift is packaged in a shoebox, and you can pack toys, hygiene items, and school supplies. Samaritan's Purse delivers the shoeboxes throughout the year at outreach events. Samaritan's Purse works with local Christians in the participating countries, and they share the good news of Jesus Christ during the event. After the children hear the good news, they receive the shoebox of gifts. For many of the kids and families that are present, this is the first time hearing about the gospel. Each child receives a book called The Greatest Gift, and this book is written in their language, and it shares the message of salvation. The book goes home with the child, and they can share the book with their family and friends. Cornerstone has participated in Operation Christmas Child for many years. We began promoting it in October. There's a few ways you can get involved. You can pack your own shoebox, and we will have shoeboxes available in October. You can start buying and filling your box, and we will take the collection up in November. We also collect shoebox items throughout the year. We collect a different item every month. For the last few years, we have a packing party with the children's ministry and the youth group during Sunday school. Each child packs their own box from the donations. Last year, we donated about 40 shoeboxes from the packing party. We collected around 100 boxes just from individual boxes, and our preschool collected about 50 boxes. I love this ministry for so many reasons. I could stand here for an hour going over everything that I love about this ministry, but we don't have that much time. So I will just give you a few things. It's a good way to introduce missions to children. Operation Christmas Child is a family tradition that we started with our kids when they were young, even as young as 2 and 3 years old. At that age, they were really too young to understand what was going on. We would explain it. We would go shopping. We would pack the boxes. But then they would have a temper tantrum when they would figure out that the gifts weren't for them. Now they don't have temper tantrums, and it's been such a blessing to see them get excited every year when we pack our own shoe boxes. It's such a joy to be involved with the packing parties at church, especially when you're around a child and it's their first time packing one. They take it so serious when they are packing their own shoebox. They really think about the child that is receiving the gift, and they work hard at packing everything that they think the child will like. Just to see the smile on their face and the joy that they have in giving is such a blessing. A few years ago, I was going through a rough time, and Operation Christmas Child helped me during that time. The church collects items every month, and when I would go and get the donations out of the narthex every month, there would always be items in the basket. It's always a blessing to get the donations out of the basket, but it just meant more because what I was going through. I have no idea who donates the items, and just to go and get the items out and see that people care about these kids that they will never meet and want to give. It may sound weird, but I got to experience God's love in those donations. It helped me see that God is good all the time, and He's always working despite what is going on in our lives. Just think if I felt like that from the donations. Just imagine how much love the kids feel when they open up their shoe boxes. They hear that God loves them, and that God loved them so much that they sent Jesus to save them. After they hear the good news, they open up their gift from someone who they will never meet, and that person cares so much for them that they packed a box filled with gifts. Operation Christmas Child is a wonderful opportunity to share the love of Christ with others. So this year, I pray that you will want to be part of this ministry. Thank you.
Yeah, it's me again. Good morning. My name is Bill Pound. I've been asked to talk about the work of our Early Response Team, or ERT. The mission of an early response team is to provide a caring Christian presence in the aftermath of a disaster. Early response teams respond to natural disasters such as hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, and wildfires. We respond by tarping roofs, mucking out flooded or water-damaged homes, removing debris, and listening to the survivors tell their story. We also have specialized chainsaw teams in our conference. To be a chainsaw operator requires additional training beyond the basic ERT training. Early response teams respond to a disaster immediately following the rescue or emergency phase of a disaster. Pastor Scott, our previous pastor, and I began working on becoming ERT trainers in the summer of 2017. In January of 2018, we taught our first class here at Cornerstone. Since then, we have trained more than 150 people all over North Georgia to be members of an early response team. In addition, we have taught several team leader classes and numerous ERT badge renewal classes. Since that first class, our church has deployed to 9 different disaster locations. Our first deployment was to Beaufort, North Carolina in 2018 after Hurricane Florence. We cleaned out a home that had significant water damage from a damaged roof and flood damage from the storm surge. Since then, we have been to Donaldsonville, Georgia as a chainsaw team, cleaning up tree debris out of people's yards, Swan Quarter, North Carolina after Hurricane Dorian, and Alabama near the coast, where we tarped several roofs and cleared debris after Hurricane Sally. That same year, we also deployed several times to a house in downtown Atlanta that sustained significant damage after a tree fell on it when the remnants of Hurricane Sally passed over Atlanta. We spent several days trying to salvage her belongings and discarded anything that couldn't be saved. As you know, on March 26th of 2021, devastation hit close to home with a Noonan tornado. Having had this previous training and experience, the North Georgia Conference asked me to represent our conference at the Coweta County Emergency Operations Center to coordinate the Methodist Church's response to the tornado after GEMA requested our conference's assistance. Within 24 hours, we had trained early response teams and chainsaw teams arriving to assist. Teams were putting tarps on roofs, assessing damage, cutting up downed trees, and dragging debris to the street. In all, more than 24 churches sent teams to help. Some of them came more than once. This ministry allows me to see God at work by using our team and volunteers from around our nation to provide hope to those who have been affected by disaster. When we arrive at a person's home to offer help, we often find them overwhelmed, confused, and depressed. After a day or two of work, you can watch their spirits lift and see hope return. They may still have a long road ahead, but now they are able to see the light at the end of the tunnel. For me, this ministry has been extremely rewarding. If you are interested in joining our early response team, please let me know and we can talk more about it. Your first step would be to take the basic ERT class. I hope to offer one this fall, but I don't have a date set yet. For those who, for whatever reason, may not be able to deploy with the team, there are things that you can do to support the team here at home. There is always a need for money to repair and purchase equipment, help to cover the travel and food costs of the team, and purchase supplies to restock the trailer. Most important, please pray for the team while they are deployed and for those affected by the disaster. Thank you.
Good morning. My name's Jim Churchill. I'll keep it short. There are many missions within this church. The picture, I'm not sure if that's a taco, El Salvador, but that's pretty much what El Salvador looks like. We've gone on many missions. One distinct factor about this mission is we were the last team in 2020 before COVID hit. And then we were the first team in 2023 to come back. I'm going to tell you about some opportunities. This is sponsored by Fayetteville First United Methodist Church, April the 6th through the 13th of 2024, June the 1st through the 8th of 2024. The missions are construction, Bible school, and food distribution. The cost is between $1,000 and $1,800 per person, depending on the number of team members, airfare costs, and types of projects. This current trip, sign up is no later than November 1st, and there's a $250 deposit due with sign up. The second trip is possibly non-construction. It says here to be determined. And then a trip in 2025, led by this church, is May 31st through June the 7th. There's something for everyone, if not just helping. And then the youth have a trip this year, and I'm not sure on the dates of that, but you can help by raising funds for their trip. And there are, donations and things that you can do for the trips that we make in 2024, 2025. Thank you. Have a blessed day.
Good morning. I'm Kathy Pugh, and I'm going to keep this short. First of all, thank you to everyone who spoke this morning, and thank you to Andy for putting the video together. I did not want to have to attempt that. Some of you know I've been the most involved in the El Salvador mission, and if you ever want to talk individually about why I think it's important to go on an international mission trip when there's so much need here in Coweta County, I would love to have that conversation with you. I believe in doing both. And for reasons I can't really explain, I was more willing to sign up to go to El Salvador than I was the Trinity Soup Kitchen. I just couldn't wrap my head around that one, and I felt like it was outside my comfort zone, but I finally leaned into that and went to the Trinity Soup Kitchen and was very glad that I did. So my suggestion to you is to think about where you might fit in and perhaps lean outside your comfort zone. We've had people who have gone to El Salvador on walkers, people in their 80s. There is something for everyone. Don't feel like your skills won't match, because there will be a spot for you. In the bulletin, there is an insert if you would like information on any of the missions, you have an insert. I'll be at the back of the sanctuary with a basket. Afterwards, you can drop it in the basket. And if you're worshiping online, you can download a version of the form. It's at in the link in the description area, which I think is at the bottom. Rusty's nodding. And then you can return it to the church, and someone would love to have a conversation with you. So in closing, I want to read you something. The Methodist Church puts out a book called A Mission Journey, a handbook for volunteers, and I want to read you just a portion, sorry, of the first sentence, and I'm going to summarize it and shorten it a bit. It says, "Our God is a missionary God. The Bible is a missionary document. The agent of God's mission is the Holy Spirit, and the partner with this Spirit is the Church of Jesus Christ. And we are His church, and I encourage you to get involved in our missions." Thank you.
As our band comes back up, I know we're running short of time today, but we're going to just sing one. Can we do one verse, Cindy? Would that be okay? We're going to try to do one verse, folks upstairs, of the last song. So would you stand up? And this is just an opportunity as you're singing or as you're thinking about this to fill out this form and let us know your interest in being a part of one of the mission ministries of our church. Or if you'd like more information about any of these things, I'm going to ask our volunteers if y'all could maybe go just out in the back area there and let people come by and ask you questions, or maybe in the narthex, even better still. So let's sing. We're going to sing our last song. Join us for this last song as we wrap up.